All right, everybody, you are all unmuted. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting session of Eberron, Ashes of the Last War. I am the DM here, Obsidia, everybody's favorite Death Knight, and today I am back from my vacation, back from a break from this game for a week while people were getting entertained by local bards, and we are gonna, just be jumping right in for the introductions. And we are going to do that brief recap and get started. So first off, Page the Mage, where are you? What are you? Who are you?
That's a good question. Who are we all? But yeah, hi. My name is Yulia. I am an elven from the Daikon Kingdom, and I play the resident time wizard, Paige. And yeah, so I play a lot of Skyrim. I do a lot of RPGs. We're doing a donathon this week, and the goals will be up tomorrow. It's going to be a fun and exciting time. So hopefully you'll stop by my channel and come and support me. Thanks a bunch.
Yes, we will stop by and make it rain on you as you perform for our amusement. Um,
Yes.
Easter may be over, but the bunny dress stays on during stream.
Bunny suit stays on.
Next up, we have Ilya.
Hello. My name is Lily, but tonight I am playing the darling Ilya, the weirdly, mostly draconic sorcerer. But we're weird because we like being weird. But I am excited to see what happens next after taking a week off, seeing a concert, music stuff, yay, and yeah. So I hope you guys enjoy tonight. Blah blah.
That was a sentence.
Blah blah.
Thank you, Il. Next up, we have Euphoria.
Hello, everyone. I'm Maris, and tonight I'm playing Lady Euphoria Cox, everyone's favorite hot pink MILF. And yeah, we're on that good rebranding arc. It is ever continuing, so I don't have much in the way of content drops, but I'm just happy to be here playing my gay little characters with my gay little friends.
The gay people in my computer. They make me happy.
They do!
Yes, we're all looking forward to that rebrand NSFW art.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we have your pal, Mal Rao.
Hey, I'm Leech of the Bronze, but tonight I'm going to be Melrel, so I hope you enjoy.
Thank you. And then last but never least, we have our favorite mess, the very best, Cess.
Hi, it says the Barbarian, played by me, Sif, the real man. No cat ears, just guy who likes doing art in video games. No other announcements, but I love you guys. All right, I'm good.
Thank you. All right, everybody. So previously on Eberron, Ashes of the Last War, our plucky group of adventurers finished their epic battle against the Seeker, and began their recovery and kind of relaxation arc as they had to deal with the trauma of that experience, as well as the mind break that has overtaken Asharin in the wake of their impotence in the face of the Seeker's power. And in a much quieter mansion of adventures, the party kind of went about their own things. Malral and Ilya had a very hearty exchange discussing what it is to lose your family and loved ones and bonding over that experience, as Malral also made a vial to store the ashes, not of the last war, but of Ilya's brother, who Euphoria killed during the battle against the Seeker. Just had to emphasize that. And who had been captured by the Seeker and twisted and experimented on to become this enormous angelic abomination under her command. And then after that, Ilya, Paige, and Euphoria gather together to about a dance experience, as they taught little Paige how to dance for realsies, and Ilya and Euphoria bonding over music as well as bonding a little closer physically as they dance together, awakening a few feelings in not just the people involved, but perhaps in the audience. And then finally, Sess had a heart to heart with Kai Shen doing gardening, where um, where discussing that he needs to be able to move on in life, and Kai Shen informed Sess about his family being murdered and that he will likely never be able to get vengeance for them, and he lives in kind of a post-vengeance arc of just kind of accepting that this is his life and that ultimately, this is him as a ghost, and he hopes to one day die to be able to live again with his family. And it basically came down to, Sess, I appreciate you trying, and you also need to have value for your own life. So practice what you preach, bitch. And then Lily proceeded to get awfully hot and heavy, wiping the sweat off of them. and then, um, and after all of this and some time to go by, the everybody's favorite little kitty slash the Knight of the Raven Queen, Ikashi, presented them with a letter from the Raven Queen inviting them to a Fey Day celebration at a house where they will be attending what is basically the Halloween of this world, where the barriers between the Feywilds and reality become thin, and the Fey are able to journey in their true forms and run about the material plane. And over the millennia that have gone by since, they've basically bamboozled mortals into considering it this fun event where they play tricks on people like the Fae often do, and pretend to look like others and act like others in the way that the Fae are wont to do, and giving the Fae pretty much freedom to be able to do whatever the hell they want. So the party gathered together, making costumes for themselves and fancy outfits of various levels of revealing and or scandalous, as they proceeded to the great masquerade for Fae Day, when when Ikashi in his true Fae form compressed reality and had them enter the Shadowfell as they approach the house. But before that occurs, in full circle, we are going to start with a brief retroactive gift exchange by Malral and Ilya. So, Malral, please feel free.
Ilya, before we go in, I had something I wanted to give you.
Oh? Another present?
You came to me and trusted me with that talk before. And I wanted to show my appreciation for you being so open. He pulls out it looks to be thin metal chain, a necklace. And at the very bottom of that, he's not a jeweler. He is a smith and he works very well with metal, but he's not very experienced with jewels, so it's an uncut gem, but you can see what appears to be a fine platinum kind of tiny dragon holding on to a snowflake, the middle of the snowflake being a small diamond that comes out into many small branches with other tinier diamonds clasped on the ends of them. A white dragon holding a snowflake.
Goodness, Malral, if this is what you give to people who just choose to be open with you, I'm sure that that your wife was a very lucky woman.
You are my friend. I wanted to show that.
Of course, I feel like this is so very much for how little I may have deserved it, but it is beautiful, and I thank you for it. I'm not wearing the jewels that my mother gave me tonight, but this will be a perfect accent piece to the dress. She'll
I'm
take
glad
it.
you think so.
She'll take it and wrap it around her neck, clasp it together, and just kind of let it fall as the dragon kind of falls in between the open slit of her dress. And just it very much like the sparkle of it, just kind of in the sheen of her somewhat icy appearance, just helps kind of refract and reflect all of the image, all of the sparkling together to create a very gorgeous, almost mini chandelier effect.
It looks good.
It does. You said that you're not too much of a jeweler, but obviously you have some skill for the craft to be able to see that this would look gorgeous on, well, someone as gorgeous as myself.
I could only clasp the gems in the metal. I could not cut them.
Well, cutting diamonds is certainly something that takes a extremely high temperature.
If you need any modifications to it, please tell me. I want to make sure it's something you would want to wear for a long time.
Hmm. Tell you what, as I spoke, the gems that I usually wear, that of my mother's, I think that there's a possibility to better display what I care so deeply about. Of
If
course.
if you wish it, I'll gladly exchange it for the metal gem in the necklace.
No, I do not wish to change what you have made for me so thoughtfully, but I'm sure that there is a bit of a compromise to be made to honor both you and my late mother.
He nods with a smile.
Just say it again. I can only imagine how lucky of a woman your wife must have been. You must have made things like this for her all the time.
The smile grows a bit wan. Uh, he's still trying to smile, but you can see he doesn't fully reach his eyes this time. As he gives another nod. I gave her many a gift, yes. None were. None befitted her. She deserved more.
All women deserve the world. It's up to us to give it to them.
Let's see if we cannot turn some heads in the party then.
I know I mean to.
All right. And with that, Ikashi will open the door to this dilapidated mansion in the black and white scape around you. And as you enter, it is very much like a kind of swanky jazz hall by comparison. You see people walking about dressed in all manner of outfits. Like some of these outfits appear to be absolutely archaic by comparison, going from all manners of races and potentially different parts of the world. And you see that there are lots of fey waiters and waitresses in tuxedos and gowns, but in the Shadowfell, the only thing that makes them stand out is the fact of their purple eyes. As well as in the corner, you see a black and white version of the Redcap and the Banshee with their eyes glowing as they just talk over some drinks. And Ikashi goes, "Well, you're free to mingle until the hostess requires you."
Well, I suppose we'll make the most and try to enjoy ourselves.
One note quickly, darling. Do you know about Fey food? Actually, that goes for both you as well as Malral.
I believe I explained it when we were talking about preparing to come here.
And it extends to Fey drinks as well.
All right, so don't eat or drink anything that looks delicious. Got it.
I brought my own snacks, and he holds up a tiny bag of treats.
Ah, that was smart.
Think about that one.
Just
Yeah,
make
as you
sure the
want.
host doesn't see you tote those around. Someone tells me the Fae won't take kindly to you rejecting their gifts, I guess.
Maybe viewed as inhospitable. Or something like that.
Just say you got allergies. It'll be fine.
Not a bad idea.
What do we
No, you
Go ahead,
can
Ops.
talk, Seth.
I was gonna ask what do we do at a Fae party? I've never been to a party
Well,
before. I don't know what to
people
do.
chatting, eating, drinking, and stuff, basically. And at that point, you realize you can understand what everyone is saying here, despite there is a distinctive underpinning of they're speaking in different languages that you may not be normally aware of, as kind of like a slight underpinning of what is a common language apparently that everyone is speaking and understanding. And you will also know of kind of an oddity is some of these people talking are speaking common, but it's the equivalent of like somebody speaking Shakespearean English by comparison to, Sess's modern day Sharn trash talk in common. And so it's just, you notice there's some very archaic sounding common being spoken amongst some of these people.
Yeah. Diriange.
What? Those people are not speaking Sylvan, are they?
I don't believe so, on account as I can understand them.
They certainly wouldn't be speaking common out of choice. How curious.
It's probably some Fae magic to make life here easy or whatever.
Well,
Magic's complicated. Don't think about it too hard. And just looks at Paige, who I'm assuming has like everything going through their head right now.
Like, sort of kind of looking at her spellbook, like, maybe I can do some comprehend languages. Maybe that might.
Hold on for a moment.
Hmm?
And Ilya's going to speak in Sylvan. Say, well, can you understand my accent?
Yes.
Or can you understand my language?
Yes, everybody can understand Ilya when she speaks Sylvan. It just gets translated into common.
Of course we can understand
We-
you.
we
Still
can
speak in common.
Yeah, but you didn't say anything different. You're just kind of using a different accent.
Am I?
Mm-hmm.
But I can assure you that I'm speaking Sylvan as best as I can.
Wait, so it'll auto-translate. Because, like, there's some words in Goblin and Dwarvish that don't really translate well to Common, so I'm just gonna hear a lot of, like, censoring noises as starts lifting them out.
No, if they can understand that, then you should likely keep your voice down, my dear.
I'll
That
save
is
these for
some
later.
colorful vocabulary you got there.
I learned from the best. Back in the crime bar.
Back in Brooklyn. But yeah, you guys are free to just chill out, mingle. There's probably a couple dozen Shadarkai servants here. Everything's black and white, including you guys. The only exception is Ilya has a faint blue glow to her eyes, but it's not nearly as bright as the Banshees. But the rest of you guys are in beautiful Technicolor, and you also see there's probably maybe 100 people here just kind of vibing, and music just seems to be coming out of ambient space. There's no band performing. There's like a central kind of relaxation like corner of the ballroom, as well as the ballroom itself, with the tables of drinks and food. And there's hallways leading off. but everything's in grayscale and black and white.
Doing a quick little look around, just scanning the crowd, gauging the vibe, is there anyone that I can immediately see that gives off an air of importance?
Well, there's at least the 3 Fey Knights are here. There's the Red Cap, the Banshee, and Ikashi, the Prince of Cats, who are all just kind of chit-chatting now that you guys are in. And then other people, you see people wearing some fine, noble attire from probably a dozen different cultures. There's somebody wearing a general's outfit, but, this is probably, a Brailish general's outfit from what would be, the equivalent of the Civil War versus, the modern era. And, just chatting about. So everybody here seems to be peculiar in their own ways.
There's no one from the mortal realm other than us here at the moment, right?
There's 100 or so people from the mortal realm who are being served by the Shadowkai.
I assumed that they were also Fey folk.
No, these people are clearly not Fey. They're mortals like the rest of you.
Well, looks over to Ilya, just, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to rely a little bit on your expertise. I feel a little bit in over my head. I've been to plenty of socializing events, but nothing quite like this.
Well, I will be happy to lend my expertise, my darling.
Well, who do you reckon we talk to?
If most of the people here are people of the mortal realms, and I doubt that they would have very much information on exactly what it is that we are inquiring in regards to. But I don't also believe that just approaching the Banshee or the Red Cap would be the best idea in order to try and gather information. So, it limits us quite substantially.
And the cat feller's been here the whole time, so I'm not sure he'd be a good source of information.
So, what are you two doing?
Well, I figured, with this being a event hosted by the Fae, we might be able to get some information about Jubilee.
Well, I think at parties like this, I don't know, I've only ever been to one of these once or twice with my ex, but if you're looking for information, I don't think you should worry about who you're asking. You're gonna be talking to everyone eventually, right? Might as well go around and see what comes up. If you spend all night here figuring out who you want to talk to, then you're not gonna talk to anybody, yeah?
She'll crack a smile at that, just, that's very astute of you, Sayas.
That's a fancy word. Is that not in common?
Well, everyone's speaking common now, darling, but I just mean you're very smart and insightful.
That's a weird thing to say.
Is it?
Kinda. I don't know.
Even if you don't believe,
I think you got a good head on your shoulders.
and even if you don't believe that you're being insightful, sometimes not being as familiar in situations can help you get a better view on how to achieve what it is you are aiming for.
He squints at you two with the fucking the goo mask on, so it's very noticeable. Goes. Okay,
Is
all
it the
I'm saying
accent?
No,
I
it's
can
not
switch
the
back.
accent. No, you're good. You're good. Just Anyways, we came here for a party, and I'm assuming at some point our host is gonna need us, so I'm gonna, just wait here with Paige for now, unless she wants to go do her own thing. You two are gonna go talk around with people. Yeah, I'm guessing. Malral, what are you gonna do?
I am not sure. I've never been to one of these before.
You folks should dance. if anything, dancing is free, and you have more than a perfect opportunity for this here.
So yes, Paige can teach you what she learned about dancing.
What?
Mm-hmm.
As you
I
say
do not
that,
have a partner.
a Shadowkai wearing a little cocktail outfit with curled hair will have a tray of champagne flutes that she holds out for you all.
No, thank you. Fey food gives me bad gas.
She kind
I
of
breathe fire. It would be very explosive.
Actually, I have a good idea for this. And Ilya will take one of the flutes and hold it pinky out, being as fancy as they possibly can.
okay.
Euphoria will also take one, but she's not gonna immediately drink. She's just gonna hold it.
The Shadowkai will nod and do a little, half curtsy and just kind of look at Cess and Mal Rao like a little side eye, and she'll continue.
Tell all your server buddies not to give us anything. Thank you.
I literally cannot drink alcohol without it blowing up.
I always learned for, events like this, particularly when there's food and drink involved, if you don't want anything, you hold something in your hand. Because if you're holding something, they stop asking you.
I don't know. I think my way's pretty effective as like the Feywild, like the people here already don't want to interact with Sez because of the goo. Now they're like, oh god, no, just don't talk to her. Just don't talk to her.
You really do, you really do
Rao
mean
look
to
for
avoid all
something to hold.
conversation.
He picks up a spoon.
Yep, Mal Rao with a spoon.
You do realize that holding an empty utensil is, in fact, inviting them to offer you food.
You see various waiters looking predatorily at Mal Rao with holding hors d'oeuvres with villainous intent as they start
Put
heading
the
over.
spoon down.
He puts it down.
Just like on the floor.
Yes. He just drops it.
The spoon grows legs and starts walking away.
Was it
I'm
like
very
this the
confused.
last time y'all were here?
You didn't exactly invite in much opportunity to experience things like this.
Last time we were here, things were a lot more. Yeah, I don't want to think about that. Anyways, I think I'm gonna walk around, take a look, see, maybe get some interior decoration ideas. Just be careful, you two. I know Ikashi warned us about talking with the Fae. I know you two are real smart, but let's try to avoid getting tripped over before Oberon or the host shows up. Okay?
Right. We'll do that. We'll mind our manners. Y'all should too. But have some fun, alright? If anything, it looks like there's a lot of interesting stories to be gathered from this eclectic group of people, so dance and swap stories and don't touch anything.
If anything, the lack of true Fey folk here invites us to be more open with our conversations because, well, they don't have to abide by the Feywild's rules. They're mortals just like the rest of us.
So, round the table. Paige, what are you doing? What's your plan, Reno?
What am my plan, Reno, is to. I just food. Okay, not.
Whoa! Don't eat that.
We're finding something. Maybe she merely wants to be on the observation side of things. Really, just trying to see if she can study and or learn more about Fae just through observation. She's kind of being a little bit of a wallflower at this point, but wanting to use her dance moves that she just recently learned. But she'll be watching and observing for the most part.
Okay. So now Yulia can return to eating her Fey food IRL. Ilya.
So I think, Ilya and Euphoria are going to kind of walk around, but as I've mentioned, I would like to have at least one moment with the Banshee.
Okay.
I don't know what the order is, but
I'm going to
we
go
will,
around to get what everyone's doing, and then I'll tell you
yeah.
the order.
So chatting it up, and then specifically with the Banshee.
All right, Malral, your pal.
He was told to dance, so he's going to look around for a dance partner to dance with.
Okay. Sess.
I'm gonna wander around a bit, and then I'm gonna go wait. I'm assuming there's a courtyard out back from the house, right?
You can assume whatever you want. You're inside the Shadowfell.
Damn.
Who knows?
Damn. Wait, I can't remember. Can she tell us not to go outside?
He never said anything about that.
I'm gonna go wait by the. I'm gonna assume there's a courtyard, and I'm gonna take a hot guess and assume that's where Oberon's gonna come from, and I'm gonna go chill up by there.
All right, so you're gonna take some of the hallways out of the central ballroom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, all right. So first of all, there will be a couple random conversations that Sess and Paige will hear, as they observe / move through the room. You hear, that one human, in like the general's outfits, speaking, says, "Well, I say, the succession of the throne of Galifar is definitely in doubt. With the way these kingdoms have been acting, perhaps there'll be war, I say, war. Couldn't imagine them trying to make such a big deal out of it. We've had Galifar ruling us for centuries. Why would they ever engage in battle with each other? It's just foolish." Which you guys know, Galifar was the previous continental kingdom that ruled all of the sub-kingdoms like Breland, Karnath, and everything, before a succession issue led to the last war happening for 100 years. So these are referencing events from at least over 100 years ago. And then you hear another person say, I don't know, I feel like, the current state of the Goblin Empire, they have to be able to face down these creatures from below. It's the only hope that the rest of the continent has to continue to live. There's barely anybody else here. We've had occasional discussions with the elves and the humans, but they're in whole other places. The Goblin Empire is the only thing on Corvair, standing between us and potentially madness at the hands of the Delkir. Which Paige knows, the Goblin Empire is centuries and centuries and centuries collapsed. It existed on this continent long before any, humans or elves and stuff settled here. But yeah, so Sess, as you walk through the hallways, you notice that all of the hallways are very odd. First of all, you get that nice, wonderful Escher vibe to them, where you definitely feel like you've walked through the same hallway like 7 times. But you notice that the paintings are all things that appear to be done in inverse. So, for example, I'm going to use real-world example because it's easier for me to describe something as it should be. So, for example, if you had, Christ's side being stabbed with the lance of Longinus as an art piece, this one would show the world burning around it as the Roman soldier is crucified and being tortured. And so there's reverses of basically lots of famous Eberron art pieces, but they're all done inversely along the walls. And all of the eyes follow you, Sess, as you walk.
Am I the only person going through the hallways?
Yeah, currently.
Huh. I'm gonna keep going.
Okay.
I'm gonna fuck around and find out.
You eventually proceed through your 9th turn through the hallway before you emerge back in the ballroom.
Mm-mm. Okay, no courtyard. Understandable.
And so then Malral, there's lots of people about. There's men, women, others from all manners of races and backgrounds, just kind of engaging in conversation.
All right. He will go up to anyone who looks solitary on their own
Okay.
and very bluntly just go up to them.
Hello. Would you like to dance?
It will be a human woman, and she will look at you and speaking, with that same underpinning. You literally cannot understand the common she's speaking. She basically looks like she walked out of a Renaissance painting. But she, in the translation, goes, "Oh, I would be delighted to. Pleasure to meet you. Are you some kind of lizard folk?"
My kind is often mistaken for such, but no, I am Dragonborn.
I don't think I've heard of that. I've heard of dragons, of course, but never one so small.
I am not dragon, I am Dragonborn. There is a difference.
Well, perhaps you
If
could
it makes it easier, think of it as a lizard folk that can breathe fire.
Oh, that sounds very dangerous.
It is.
And she goes, "Well, you could explain to me the details of your strange lizard people as we dance."
Gladly.
And he takes it and he attempts to dance.
Okay, all right. Just for the fun of it, make an acrobatics check for me, or performance, one of the two.
I'll do
My man
performance,
is
but I
a
at least have
literal
+1
ball
in
of
that.
meat.
Yep,
6.
you'll love to see it. You definitely step on her feet several times. You are quite heavy.
I have never danced in a place like this before.
Perhaps I could lead then?
Okay.
And she will lead you in what is basically a medieval, like ball dance kind of thing that you see that do at like weddings and parties and like Game of Thrones or whatever. So as you dance with her, now we will go to our trusty Ilya and Euphoria. Ilya and Euphoria.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, so Euphoria will sort of take Ilya's arm, and I think they'd probably do a little stroll about the room, and Euphoria will, wait, you told her that you wanted to talk to the Banshee, or is that something you kind of kept to yourself?
I've mostly kept it to myself.
Okay. In that case, we'll do a turn about the room and sort of keeping an eye out for people who might be open for conversation. But I will give Lily the option to do her spiel with the Banshee first before we do anything.
I think I would wait till after we go through the room because they're definitely intimidated to talk to the Banshee, just given, like 5th most powerful person in the Feywild right now.
Mm-hmm. So I think, she's going to single out, let's be real, probably a man, and try to engage some conversation with someone who looks important.
Okay. All right, so there is the Civil War general talking about the Galifar secession. There is also a man in a rather dated, I would say it's almost like a Roman toga, but like done with a bit more ornateness to it, who is discussing the political machinations of people you've never heard of and factions you've never heard of. This is clearly somebody from ancient times, but he is he's claiming that soon his his kingdom will be able to unite the rest of them, and and Galifar will rule supreme across all of Kobert. And then finally, you have what appears to be a rather, dashing orc fellow who is wearing like druidic leathers with all of these kinds of orcish and natural war tattoos all over him, and he is just kind of sitting there with a glass, looking about at people very much scrutinizingly, like you do.
Let's see. Talk to a Civil War general, Julius Caesar, or Hot Orc Man. Let's go with Hot Orc Man. So I will sort of subtly nod my head over in his direction, signaling to Ilya that we're going to mosey on that way. And we'll approach the two of us will approach him. And just, very confidently and give a big shining smile and just, well, it's nice to see someone else with a distinguishing eye here at an event like this. My name is Lady Euphoria Cox. This is my dancing partner, Ilya, and I couldn't help but admire your look across the room. Usually, warriors like yourself have tattoos like that, and I was curious if you wouldn't mind swapping some stories with us.
Yeah. Scrutinizes the two of you, puts his drink down, and puts a hand over his heart, and then kind of... the best word for it is projects it at you. Like, as if he is taking something and then pushing it towards you. As he goes, "Well, it seems you have me outnumbered. I guess I should be amiable to be quartered then."
Oh, darling, it's nothing like that. Besides, even being outnumbered in these kinds of situations can lead to a lot of fun.
Yeah, raises an eyebrow as he looks between the two of you.
Why don't we start with names then? I gave you ours.
So be it. I'm Lorakan. I'm the lord of the Kalakandar.
Does this ring any sort of
Do you have
recognition?
history trained?
That's a great question. No.
Nope.
You can try and wig it with an unskilled history check if you're so inclined.
Oh, excellent. 14.
Yeah.
Should I do an individual or?
Yeah, you can do one as well if you want to try and recognize him.
Okay. 17.
Okay. I'll give it to Ilya on this one. Ilya, you recognize that name as one of the great orc clan chiefs who was able to unify several of the clans together to fight a demonic incursion centuries ago. Because this was back when the orcs were much closer aligned with the true natural aspects of Kobert, and were steadfast guardians of the wilds, and were able to stop the enormous demonic incursions that ended up creating the demon wastes in the northwest of Kobert, where most orcs to this day live, the ones that aren't in one of the kingdoms. So this guy was basically like the Genghis Khan unifier of these orcs against the demons.
Euphoria will nod as though she actually knows what he's talking about. Like, yes, of course.
We are truly honored to be in the presence of someone as distinguished as you are, my dear. Those demons, I'm sure, are quite a source of interesting stories of being able to overtake and overpower others. Am I right?
He kind of curls up his lip and spits on the ground as he makes a wording gesture and goes, defeating them was one of my greatest achievements. If only I could have seen what happened after.
After?
Well, yes, I had been. Kind of looks around and goes, I had been brought here after my victory, and I've been here in I imagine the days since.
How long have you been here, if you don't mind my inquiring?
Time is difficult to gauge, but I believe, as he kind of looks around and goes, I believe I am out of place. As he sees all the different outfits in you guys.
Well, we feel a little out of place. It seems like a diverse array of people in this room. But if I had to wager a guess, everyone here seems accomplished, has done something to earn the attention of our host.
Likely so. Despite our ties to the seasonal quartz in the war, I'm afraid I do not understand this strange wasteland of people.
Well, it is the Shadowfell that we call our home currently. The domain of the Raven Queen.
Because you're black and white, I'm not going to say his face grows paler. And as he kind of looks at this with extra scrutiny, and he goes, so we have been taken for her collection.
Her collection? Looks over to Ilya as well for like, information.
I think Ilya knows enough about the Raven Queen to know what this is. Is that correct?
She knows that this is probably something to do with her crow-like tendencies.
Mm-hmm. It's just Ilya will just give a cautious but like steady nod of like, I think so.
He kind of just goes, the crone of crows was what she was called to my people, said to live in the darkest depths of the forest, always preying on the unwary, and that she would take brave warriors and keep them forever in some kind of prison.
Well, surely not forever. Like forever.
He shrugs and goes, it was never said that any returned, and her servants were generally killed on sight by my clans, lest they hex us with their vile magics.
And I must say that the time that you speak of is long in the past. Apologize to inform you, but
He kind of grimaces and goes, it had only seemed like a few days here, but your appearances and those of the other strangers make it apparent that time has moved on since I was taken.
Have you? Oh no, go ahead.
Are the clans still safe? Have the demons not returned?
Looks over to Ilya.
from what I know, I believe that they are still strong, unified even.
He nods and goes, well, then I can be pleased to know that I did all I could in my life. And that it was worthwhile.
It's all any of us can hope for.
It seems to me as though the Raven Queen might not be the only Fae who has a tendency to collect mortal beings. Have you seen any others come through here, maybe?
Of the fair folk or mortals?
Mortals.
It seemingly gets hazy trying to recall anything before this, as he gestures to the party. But the only people I've seen enter that weren't already here are you and your companions. And of course, he points to the knights.
Right. No one who might, say, bear resemblance to myself, maybe just, smaller.
He kind of leans down just a little bit because he's probably about 7 feet tall as he looks down at you, Euphoria, and goes, I will say, if I saw somebody like you that wasn't on the battlefield being cleft beneath my blade, then I would recall it.
Aha. Well, thank you kindly for your time.
I assume
It's-
that you are not of the demons that once were.
I should say not.
For how little it is worth, I can vouch for her character as one of good standing.
I suppose it is irrelevant to me anyway. As he picks up his drink again and takes a sip.
Hmm.
It does not seem like I will ever leave.
Has anyone ever tried?
Because I don't believe so, but all I remember is being here, and then I slept in darkness, and then I awoke in this room.
Have you ever slept while you're here?
It was all so black for so long. It was difficult to tell when you were asleep or awake, but I knew that my training would carry me through it, but I do not recall anything about how I wound up here. Only that shortly ago the darkness disappeared and I was standing here by this table holding this drink.
That must have been fairly unsettling. But I think while we're here, my associate and I we'll try to find out as much as we can about our surroundings and our host, and if we find out something that might be of use to you, we'll let you know.
He nods and goes, I doubt much you learn will impact whatever I am now, but I hope that the spirits of earth and tree will guide you out of this place in a way that I do not think it will ever guide me out.
Thank you. At the very least, I hope you get some better company in the coming days. And she looks over to like all the crusty old guys, like just. But thank you again for your time.
He nods and he does that same gesture over his heart, projecting it towards you guys.
Bow back him and begin to take a step away.
Yep.
Well,
Well,
exactly go as we had hoped for, I believe.
I fear as though I have more questions than I started out with.
I think from what we're gathering of what everybody's speaking about, those here, aside from the knights,
I think everyone is, and she'll just like whisper it so that way she doesn't alarm anybody who's nearby. I think everyone's deceased.
would check out for the Raven Queen's domain.
She collects dead people.
Well, also offers them something in life, and well, at least that's what
see.
I heard from the storybooks.
Another inconvenient transactional relationship.
Hmm.
Our accepting the invitation doesn't mean that we're going to be stuck here, right?
I would certainly hope not, considering Ikashi has been a friend to us for months now, but
And you trust him?
it's not entirely wise to trust any Fae, truly, but
Should I trust you?
you know, when I first joined the group, I told them to not trust me, but I was a different person then. Much,
Well, at
much
least you
more.
were honest about it.
There is that.
Well, I hope we can get ourselves out of here at the end of the night, but one thing at a time, I suppose.
I'm afraid I must step away for a moment. It is all but required of me to at least spend a short moment paying my respects to the Banshee as the the Knight of the Winter Court. Being that.
Hey, someone caught your eye then?
No, I don't think it's quite much of that.
All right.
She is far too young of a figure for me to ever truly be interested, but it is just my family. We do pay homage to Queen Mob, so it's only natural that, given the circumstances of being able to, that
I get it. You go schmooze with your higher ups, and I'll find myself some company as well.
when I come back, I would love to take you for another dance.
I'll hold you to that.
Ew. All right. So as you approach, the red cap, Ikashi, and the Banshee are all just talking to each other. They are in the same kind of black and white, but they have their glowing fey eyes of their respective courts. The Banshee is wearing what is basically like a flapper outfit, but made of icicles. You know, she's still in her usual, somewhat adolescent form, as she twirls a frozen, serrated icicle kind of walking stick as she, is talking to the tall, imposing figure of the flowing hair of the red cap, and he is wearing a very, very light-absorbingly dark tuxedo with vest. Just doesn't have the jacket on, and he's got his own little, serrated walking stick that you recognize as that's definitely her scepter from her Fey form, and that's definitely his giant ass scythe, but in a more condensed form. They're just chit-chatting.
Yep. As I approach, I'm going to kind of, still with the same champagne glass in my hand, I'm going to take a very deep bow before the Banshee and just say, "It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance once again, albeit under a bit colder of circumstances, my Lady Banshee," and offer her the glass of champagne.
The red cap, all three of them get the same, like, big, predatory smiles that you know and love. And the red cap looks at you as, "Did you just make a cold pun?"
Well, does come a bit with who we are as a people.
No wonder. No wonder the cat is always talking about how entertaining you all are.
Well, considering our last excursion with you folks was cut short by the need for confrontation between the two of you, I just figured that I would stop by as a member of the House of Shaylor Lindir to better and more accurately introduce myself to you.
The Banshee takes the champagne glass and, takes a sip of it as she, continues twirling her icicle, and then she'll, tap it on your shoulder and go, It is a pleasure that you are offering us such fealty after so long."
Well, it wasn't exactly our choice to be a part of the Facespire incidents, but, it is what it is.
Yes, a tragic affair, I'd say, a tragic. But I assume in time you will make it right, won't you, child?
Well, of course. I mean, I don't mean to alarm you, but unfortunately, the House of Shaylor Lindir did suffer much in the mortal realm at the hands of some religious fanatics. In regards to my family, at least only myself and Acorn remain. But
It was truly a failing for them to abandon eternity to go slum it in that world.
Ilya kind of hesitates for a second, being like, oh. But it's just like, well, at least the orphans that do remain, I think they deserve to at least return to their heritage at some point. If we could ever figure out exactly what it was that caused it and bound us.
Twirls the icicle a few more times as she taps it on your shoulder again and goes, "Well, you can always choose to abandon this silly little path you're on and return to the service."
What silly little path would that be?
"Oh, well, as entertaining as the mortals are, you know that you don't really belong there. You should be with us. I'm sure the Queen can put you to service. I know I could think of a few things for you to do. But that would require you to once again embrace eternity."
She hesitates for a bit. Embracing eternity would be something, wouldn't it? But in a mere blink of an eye, perhaps I would return to servitude.
She gets that same big, icicle or ice cube teeth smile in her frostbitten lips, and she goes, "Well, I imagine that there will come a time when you have to decide, because while you're with them, your life unfortunately has a quite set limit. But you will learn eventually that you'll die." She kind of shrugs.
1,000 years may be a long time, but compared to your eternity, I know that is not nearly enough to enjoy oneself.
And she takes another sip of the champagne, and all of the knights exchange a very mischievous look amongst each other and goes, "Oh, you have no idea."
Speaking of all of you knights, where is our lovely fourth knight of the Feywild in Shadowfell?
Ah, yes, we have been hearing from Ikashi about how much you all have been just pining away for the new Houndmaster.
Pining away, yes, but just merely out of a sense of wanting them to be their best self.
Well, I'm sure you'll be disappointed to hear then that the hunt never attends these things. Especially in light of their inactivity, they are being put to work to push back the plane of dreams everywhere where they may confront it.
Truly a shame that we will not be able to see her this evening, but I understand. They have been off duty for quite a while.
Yes, I'm sure that it will leave you trembling with anticipation.
Your jests truly are something to behold.
And all three of them laugh in unison in their different voices.
I must say, it is truly an honor to speak with you so candidly. After our family was separated, I was worried that, well, that we would have been forgotten, but
Oh, you haven't been forgotten. And the Banshee goes, "Oh yes, you all are the guests of honor." And with that, the lights all begin to strobe purple and black. And all of you guys blink, and you are now in a grand entranceway below a stairway that leads off into seemingly infinity of this house. As all of the other guests around you appear next to you, and all of the Shadar-Kai's waitstaff are nothing but glowing purple eyes from the darkness. And from the top of the staircase, you see an absolute murder of crows come flying out in a whirlwind before they start to screech and caw and start melding together. And then as they begin to collapse in on themselves, you see the towering form of an exquisitely refined woman with the palest skin and a gown made of artisanally crafted black feathers that flows onto the earth itself, and her hands end in great black talons with a crown of black teeth coming straight out of her long flowing black hair, and her bright violet eyes as she looks at all of you and smiles. And with that, everybody feels the overwhelming compulsion to kneel.
I was doing it willingly.
If you do it willingly, it's easy. If you try to resist, it's gonna be uncomfortable.
Oh, okay. Oh, we're going down. Okay.
Going down, we're yelling timber.
Best to honor her.
And you five are all together amidst the crowd, and she will come floating towards you all. That smile never breaking. As this cuts out, and you just hear, "Oh, you came. How delightful." As As she floats towards you, she just kind of runs her talons along, the sides of your faces and clothes. And Paige, you have the wonderful feeling as she does that you are buried in a shallow grave, feeling the maggots eating your skin as they try to crawl out of you. And Euphoria, you feel yourself with icicles forming in your blood and eyes as you freeze alone on a arctic wasteland stretching into infinity. And Cess, you feel every motion of your body cracking and crumbling as your flesh tears apart, and the very weight of your skin is apparently too much for you to bear in your final moments. And Mao Rao, you just feel the air being choked from your lungs as you are unable to catch a breath, as you sink deeper and deeper into an utterly black ocean. And Ilya gets that wonderful feeling of someone walking over her grave as she is tossed piece by piece into the earth once more. In just the briefest flashes as the Raven Queen's claws work their way along each one of you.
It is truly an honor to be in the presence of someone as esteemed as you are, Raven Queen.
Ah, it is so good that you know your place. But I am delighted to finally see you. I've heard, as she leans down against Cess's ear, as she has one talon under her chin and just whispers into her ear that everyone can hear. And she's so much about you.
Does that feeling you described before, is that intensified for Sez right now? 'Cause she's-
Yes.
It's a fun little trauma we can talk about later, guys.
Tuck that one away.
Get me out of here.
And as her gown rustles, you get the distinctive sound of wing beats as she begins to flow away from you, and the very blackness behind her forms up into a throne made of darkened bone as she doesn't so much sit in it as it forms around her as she puts one leg over the other and goes, I know that you all must have questions, but do not fear, because I've come to have you here so that I can make you a little offer.
An offer for us?
She her smile gets a little wider as she runs her tongue along her razor sharp teeth and utterly black lips as she goes, oh, as much as I would love to have you. I don't think you mean quite so literally.
Still things that we need to do beyond the Feywild. So unfortunately not at this time.
Well, if you ever decide to hunger for just a little taste more of what this life can give you, then I have such wonders I can show you.
Thank you for your kind offer.
It is so rarely that anybody refers to my kindness not one of the traits I normally am associated with. But you all are going to get such sweet drops of my. She kind of smiles as if it's an inside joke to her. Kindness tonight.
Surely there is more to your appreciation and adoration for us, esteemed guest of honor, than your desire to offer a vague promise, no?
And in just the blink of shadow, she's next to you again, Ilya, as she runs her talons along, like through your hair, as she goes, "Oh, I would love to have you all in continual, perpetual service to me. But no, I'm interested in something that you can offer me that is, I would say, as she blinks next to Euphoria and kind of runs her nose along the side of your face and goes, more immediate gratification. As you blink again and she's back in her throne.
Usually a gal asks or offers dinner first before making such an offer, but
There was plenty of time for food and drinks earlier. Now we must come to the main dish. Has your curiosity finally gotten to you, worn away at your inhibitions, and you wish to know just what I can do for you and what you can do for me?
A few months ago, I absolutely would have taken you up on an offer for assistance. But now, I believe we owe you at least the courtesy to hear you out on whatever it is that you offer.
Ah, excellent. Straight and to the point, says the prodigal daughter of the darkness and ice. The offer I give is simple and direct. You provide me a story I have never heard, and in exchange, I will tell you your future.
do people often accept those terms?
She blinks next to you again, Euphoria, and she lifts up your chin with her talon as she looks at you with those overly large violet eyes and says, few can resist the temptation. And then she blinks back into her throne.
Sure.
I think anybody would be tempted to know what their fate is. But unfortunately, it's not my future I'm most concerned with right now.
Oh, then the fate of. As she blinks next to Paige and runs her talons along Paige's ears, goes, the fate of a sister, perhaps? Or a lover? What cloying thing drives you forward? As she does the same to Cess. I can tell you what will happen to all of you, and I know how badly you wish to cast aside your uncertainty. You don't have to play coy with me.
Did she touch Says during that last
Yeah,
time?
yeah.
Again?
She did.
Okay, just
She
make sure.
touched your ears like she did Paige.
Please stop touching me.
What would be the point of knowing when it could change?
Paige tenses up.
Yeah. As she blinks back into her throne and goes, "Oh, well, if you don't wish to know, then I guess then we don't have an accord. I just always found you mortals always craving." As she blinks over to Malral and runs her talon along his chest, more and more of what lies in store for your limited little lives.
Well,
Life is an experience. Knowing what would come would only spoil the present we currently have.
Paige is just looking down at the floor.
Oh, apparently some of your companions don't share your obtuseness. I can feel their hunger emanating from them. Isn't that right? As she looks at Paige, boring through Paige.
If I'm to do that, I'll do it with my own powers, not anyone else's.
Willingly turning down the opportunity of one of the archfey, putting so much faith in your petty grasp of time. A
Yeah.
pity.
I do believe that, at least as far as this group is concerned, that the gift of an archfey is one of the many reasons that we currently find ourselves desiring such a such a gift.
Then I give one last offer. Do you wish to know? Do you wish to know how you will be changed in the coming days? Or do you wish to walk into your future ignorant and, as she blinks over to Ilya, whispering into her ear, vulnerable?
For the first time in a long time, I've discovered that being vulnerable leaves you open to much, much joy.
What a pity. So none of you wish to know?
My
Malral shakes
queen,
his head.
you had your chance 25 years ago when I reached out.
Just to clarify, is nobody taking it? I just need to.
as
No.
as tempting as the offer is, I'm afraid I'm not much good with stories.
Agent Sess?
This is still about her offer, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm. I'm good.
Okay, Paige. Your final. Gonna rely on time.
Right, she'll rely on her own time.
Okay then. What a pity. How disappointing. But I guess then I will be watching closely to see the misfortune befall you all one by one. I'm sure it will be exquisite. And with that, she evaporates into ravens once more that storm out of the room. And with that, the black and white blinks away, and you guys are standing in a empty, dilapidated building with Ikashi standing next to you, and you're back in reality.
That party sucked.
Yeah, I've been to a lot of high and fancy to-dos, and I gotta say that was probably one of the worst. Is everyone okay?
The lady I danced with kept going on about giving people cake.
Oh,
Ilya speaks to you guys in Sylvan and just says, well, it was going somewhere, but then, she decided to show up.
darling, I'm gonna stop you right there. I think the magic wore off.
My apologies. I was getting somewhere, but then since the Raven Queen showed up, and now, well,
Did
Ikashi?
you find out something interesting?
Not exactly. Something, but it's not enough to really quench the thirst. All I found out was that the wild hunt does not attend those gatherings. That they are very busy maintaining or cleaning up the mess that was created over the last few months.
I see.
Just a little, just a little. Time is always tempting.
I mean, you can just do that yourself, can't you?
I mean, not yet, not at least not that extent.
I mean, you can already change the future, can't you? So, like, isn't that better? And I don't mean through your everyday actions. I mean the fact that you can literally look at something and go, you want something else to happen instead. I mean, you told us you do that, right? That's the summary, yeah.
Yes, technically, but I mean, just very briefly.
Still more than the average person. Just be
So
happy with what you have.
why would she offer something that you already know how to do?
Like I said, I can only do it, for a very short amount of time, and I can only do it ever so often, and I don't know, maybe she meant it was something very soon. It's something
She
that
did
maybe,
say
yeah, maybe
she did.
I'm sorry.
Well, she did say in the coming days.
Wait, we should probably head back. How long have we been gone? You don't think something happened to Sylvana, do you?
Does it look like it's still Fey Day out here? Hasn't
Has it been a
happened yet.
year, or do we go back in time? Explain!
Um, I'm new to this whole archfey time business. So we traveled back in time. Yes?
I suppose that would be how you mortals could process it.
We're not gonna have to worry about running into past versions of ourselves, are we? Is that something we need to worry about?
Oh no, I assure you the Queen has already taken those, so you won't have to worry about them.
Taking
What?
those.
What? We're never going to the Fae again.
Oh, okay.
We are never going to the Fae again.
I
Before we
will
leave,
wrap my mind around that later.
should we try sending a message once more, Jubilee? It does not have a chance of failure as long as we're in this realm.
We can try, but
I don't think.
if she's
Uh,
if she's as busy as it's implied, then she
Anti-magic fields and all.
she might not be getting them.
I thought I'd at least offer. Forgive
Thank
me.
you. No, thank you. Maybe we can try again later, but right now I'm just a little disappointed, I guess, that she wasn't there.
Puts a friendly hand on your shoulder and just gives like a comforting pat.
Do not worry. You will see her soon, I am sure. Mayhaps not in person, but perhaps in the future you will see them in the flames of the forge.
I admire your confidence.
I'm
Thank
really
you.
sorry. I can't get over the fact that our past selves are now back in that. That's what happened to those other people there, right? Because they sounded way out of it.
I don't know if it was the fellow that we were talking to uh, indeed has long since been deceased.
Well, yeah, he is, but like when he. Okay, so you know how we don't have to worry about running into our other selves here, yeah?
That's yeah.
Yeah, and they're back at the manor now, yeah?
I don't think that it's something we should be thinking too hard about if we want to keep any bad bouts of sanity with us.
What if they don't know that they're.
They'll find out soon.
That's part of the Fae experience, I suppose.
It's all a big circle. It's fine. Let's just head back.
I guess I just won't think about it, but this seems like something that's really immoral to not think about, I guess.
Ikashi, do you have any words for yourself?
Meow.
Fuck
Ah,
you.
He's just sitting there fluttering, like in his cat form.
you were speaking in your cat form just a minute ago. Don't just think that you can get out of it by pretending to meow like that.
Um,
Besides, you said that you were regaling the other knights with stories of how much we pine for information about Jubilee.
meow.
I'm getting the extra reflufa for your bath today. And no snacks.
Meow.
Let's head back to the manor.
Okay. Flutters by.
Says as I'm looking, he'll give him another catnip treat.
Meow. He's gonna rest on Malrau's shoulder.
I still owe you that dance, Euphoria.
Well, there'll be other opportunities. I hope.
I'm sure.
Um, when you guys return to the mansion, it is 3 days in the past, so it's not like a colossal amount of time, but it is 3 days prior to Fayday. So it's the period between when you all resolved the various before Fayday events you did, and when you were going to get ready for Fayday and that invitation and everything. But in the when it comes back around, you do not receive an invitation for Fayday.
How do we explain this to ever? Do we just keep it
I
to
don't know.
ourselves, or
If the
What
invitation
happened? What
never
do you think?
arrived, then
right? Right.
He used to weird time magic. I guess we really don't have to go into detail.
I'm gonna go celebrate Fayday the way I normally celebrate it. That's with a big bowl of king-size Snickers and a terrifying front yard.
um, so yeah, the coming days will be odd for you to get used to, as you seemingly feel like you are reliving, what you've already done, because you are. But after Fayday, Cess, I believe there was something you wanted to do.
Oh, we're already busting that out. Okay.
Well, we're now in the post Fayday events.
Yeah, you're right. So
Now where I
this is
was
gonna
on duty making sure no
gather.
one TP'd the house.
Yeah, we're fine. This is about a few days after
Yeah.
Fayday, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a room where everyone's in. It's like, so guys, I heard about this new park that opened nearby. This new playground called Paw Print Park. Some local benefactor, donated to the town, and there's a new park, and they got a Harazak field if you guys want to play with the kids there. That Lady Ray watches over and stuff.
I'm sorry. Play what now?
Harazak.
A little slower.
I get it. It's not a game. I understand. It's a big fancy word. I understand. Harazak is a very popular sport back in Shan, mainly among the shifters. But yeah, it was a game made up way back when they couldn't afford any fancy fields to play in. So it's like capture the flag, but you played in like an industrial waste sector of the city, and you had a healer on hand just in case. And most things go. Obviously we don't try to kill each other, but one you try to get the enemy's totem and bring it back to your totem, and vice versa. Stop them from getting yours.
So this mysterious benefactor made a industrial waste sports
Oh, no, no.
complex.
Hold on. So I recently found out what OSHA was, and probably this benefactor probably did too, and it's just a regular park where there's an area that like page remembers, instead of having to like hop over pipes and stuff, there's like little like those like plastic rocks that kids can hop on or whatever.
Yeah, I
And
remember.
so
Yeah.
this benefactor just happened to know the shifter's sport of choice in Sharn, and happened to construct a field to participate.
Yeah, and the kids are like really into it and stuff, and learned how to play it. And I just, given the sheer amount of people here who like being parents, and I every week they go there, and Lady Ray's kind of overwhelmed being like the only adult there besides me. So I figured this would be a good chance for you all to get out and do something athletic that isn't punching a sandbag or something.
This game reminds me of the stories my father told me back when he was a warrior in the tribe and he had to steal the head of another chieftain and bring it back to his own.
Please don't go ripping off kids' heads.
Yeah, I'm sure that'd be against OSHA violations. So
I don't know about everyone else, but I'd like to do it. I kind of miss it.
well, I would be intrigued and honored to supervise and give Sess a little pat on the shoulder for the benefit of this mysterious benefactor.
I mean, you should do it because it's fun, and playing games is fun. Yeah. And also, this is open invite, so all the companions and
Now-
stuff can come through.
Now, this game, are the children armed? What sort of weapons will they be using to improve their combat skills?
The best way to take off a head is a curved sword, so we best equip both those.
See, back in Sean, when Paige and I played, like some kids knew magic, other kids I had a big stick. I had a really big, hefty stick to whack the other kids with.
One moment, if we're worried about OSHA violations, bringing a curved sword or something like that wouldn't exactly solve the issue.
Well, no, it would be a meaningful lesson.
But it's also an OSHA violation.
It's okay. We'll give them armor.
Anyways, I tried running that by, and then Lady, the arena was there, and I was like, oh, I'll just get some plastic sticks or whatever. Lady Ray told me that was a really bad idea because the kids are probably gonna get hurt anyways, hopping over stuff. I probably shouldn't be encouraging them to beat the shit out of each other, but they can still grapple and stuff. The little house rule they made up, so that no one gets hurt and no parents have to fight other parents to the death or whatever people do here. If a kid gets a good hold on you and you can't move anymore, you out. You gotta go back. You have to walk all the way back to your base and then wait there for a few seconds before you can go again.
I see. So we're primarily focusing on building hand-to-hand combat skills.
Yeah, I guess, and running and athletics, also carrying an important object. I guess if you want to make it all professional and not fun sounding for kids.
Oh, goodness, Euphoria.
I think you're missing the point.
Jubilee did say
rather
that.
than hand-to-hand combat skills, we should focus on making it so where the other team doesn't want to touch them at all. So thus, we cover them in a coated flame protection.
You know what? Let's go to the park. I'll do a quick run with the kids, and then you guys see if you want to join or not. Okay?
I think that sounds swell.
Asharon, do you want to come?
Sharon has not left the room.
God, what's up, everyone? Yeah, I'll go get Asharon. You guys can go ask the other people if they want to come if they're not in the room.
Lily!
Yes?
We are going to the park to teach kids how to steal heads. Would you like to come with?
As tempting as that sounds, I think I'll pass on the head stealing.
It's okay. OSHA accepts it.
Who's OSHA?
I don't know, but they seem important.
Doesn't exist in Jerome.
I think Euphoria would also extend the invite to Kai Shen. Just saying, SAS wants us to supervise some sort of training activity for children. It sounds like they're going to be training in some hand-to-hand combat, and I figured, you being an expert would like to come join us.
Excellent. It is important that children learn how to fight at an early age so that they can overcome their foes.
Exactly. I'm so glad we agree. I think this will be very insightful for the children.
It is good to see CES is organizing combative activities, beginning to train them in military drills.
Run some laps and, build up some arm muscles with some push-ups.
Exactly. I will ensure those children leave thoroughly worked out and prepared for their first engagement.
Excellent.
Is this what all of you did as children?
Of course.
Larissa goes, I didn't. I didn't do any of that stuff. That's also super lame.
Goodness. I was beginning to think that I was the only one that stayed inside.
That's a child leaving the jungle. It was either life or death. You either killed the saber-toothed tiger or the saber-toothed tiger killed you.
I read books.
Savannah says, I also read books.
Well, sure, I read books too. I mean, I had to get in my history and language lessons and etiquette, but I mean, those things do you a little good if you get stabbed in the gut, so defense is number one.
But this is just a game. So, Savannah, did you want to join us as well?
Sure. I guess I can head out with the rest of you. Be a good chance for us to get some. She kind of looks outside skeptically. Fresh air. She is not an outdoors person.
Yes, it might be beneficial.
Team spoiled childhood. Let's go. Let's all go together.
Okay. Cess.
knocking at Asharon's door. Like, Asharon, if you don't want to talk to me, that's fine. You don't have to open the door or nothing. But uh, listen, I just wanted to offer it because you're part of the family. That we're all going out to a park and we're gonna play with some kids. I know you're not big on contact, but you know it's a game with obstacles. So if you wanted to be an obstacle and just chuck water balloons at people, like I'm sure that'd fly just fine. I just thought I should at least offer it to you.
Yes, prepare them for grenade fire.
It is you hear no response from the other side of the door.
Okay, well, Lily will be staying home, so if you need anything, you can ask her. And then says it's gonna walk off
Okay.
back to the group and to the park.
All right. As everyone rallies together to head to the park, Larissa has her sunglasses on and is brought basically tanning oil and one of those reflective metal folding things to work on her tan as she's out there.
I also have a bag of sports gear. Like some kids' parents don't let them play unless they have the pads. So Says brings that and stuff.
I
And
should look at
idols.
that and be like, those pads would not be able to stop a blade.
You wear armor. How are they going to train wearing armor?
It is important that they experience their failures firsthand.
Are we actually using blades?
No, again, I said we can't even use sticks.
No.
Poor
Lady
Paige.
Rei doesn't.
This is really beside the point.
Flashbacks to Child Says dunking on a kid with a crate from the industrial district.
But yeah, after a few minutes of walking, you guys get to a nice sized park where you see a bunch of shifter and goblinoid kids, running around as you see a very disapproving looking Rei Ninyen, with her arms folded, shouting at them.
Would Cleo Trixie be here too? Actually,
No, because that would have been you would have had to go over and
understood.
invite them all and stuff.
Out of care. After this, there will be an invite. Just obviously not RP'd, but
Yeah.
implied.
Gotcha.
I think
Hey.
this would be Ilya's and Maloral's first time meeting or seeing Lady Rei, for what that's worth.
I think
And
also
Euphoria, of course.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
last time Lady
I-
Rei saw anybody, it was Jubilee, and she told her that she was made a bad call with her life, and now had to live with it,
Oof.
basically.
Ooh,
I can't wait for later. Yeah, I told that Jubilee. I fucking told her so. And then you forced
Yeah.
us. Hey, Lady Rei, how's it going? I see you hands full as always.
Indeed, these children are barely following instructions.
Ah, come on, they're just having fun, Lady Rei. I know you are too, kind of. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here.
She scoffs. She goes, somebody has to ensure these children don't kill themselves.
I thought you said armor was not allowed, Sus.
I mean, it's a choice thing. All right, kiddos, come on. I brought the idols. We can play another game of Razak.
Yay! All the little kids come running up in a horde as children are wont to do. One of the girls looks up at Euphoria and goes, wow, you're really pretty.
oh, thank you, darling. That's awfully sweet. I'm sure you'll grow up to be just as pretty as me.
Oh, jeez. Kid scampers away. Another little boy looks up and bow and goes, oh, are you a house? You're
I
so
do not know of
white.
anyone that can live inside me, no. But if you want, you can ride on my shoulder.
Yo?
Yo? Kid will start climbing you.
Just pick him up with one hand and place him on the shoulder.
And then another horde of children approach Cest and hug her legs and stuff.
Okay, guys, that's good practice for the actual game. But I got some of my friends here, some of my family here, and we're gonna. I want to show them how to play this game, and then if they're into it, they can play with you too. All right, so let's be sure to have fun and get them to like it. Because if they don't, they'd be cringe, right, kids?
Yeah, we want to be based.
Cess has been teaching the kids vocab.
I can't believe you're making cringe
No.
fucking canon in this.
I made OSHA canon. Let me have this.
OSHA is cringe. That's what you taught the kids.
Why are you teaching the kids Goblin?
Some of them are goblin.
I'd like to imagine there's that one like shit-eating kid that goes goblin these.
No.
D's nuts. D's nuts.
Whoa.
I'm gonna throw a peg
All
of
right,
peanuts
kids,
at him.
come on. Everyone take your spots. I brought the gear if anyone needs it. Yes, Jeremy, I know your mother really wants you to have this helmet. So it's like taking the stuff out.
Okay, who here has combat training? I need to know what I'm working with.
You guys are gonna sit out for a round and watch what happens, and then you get to swap in and play.
I see.
Okay? Mhm.
I would watch and I would learn.
You'll see their combat training firsthand, and do not underestimate them. Kids are fucking crazy. Anyways.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Rei will take out a whistle and blow it and just shout, "Form up!"
So the way Hrazak works is that there are two pedestals on either side of the quote-unquote arena, where they each hold one idol, typically white and black. Out of character, I think it'd be really neat if the guards had like a Dark Six idol and Lady Rei had a Silver Flame one, white and black. It's a funny idea.
Okay.
Anyways, so for us adults, right? Here's how it works: is if a kid manages to latch onto you and hold on to you for a solid 2 to 3 seconds, we play by ear because who the fuck's counting while you're running? But if they hold on to you for a good amount of time, you're out. You gotta walk back. For us adults, we can only grab one kid at a time because I'm really strong. And if you can pick up the child for a solid same amount of time, then they're out. Okay. And for kid-on-kid action, it's anything goes. They can, as long as they're grappling each other for X amount of time and they give up, then they're out. Make sense to you guys?
I believe so. It seems overly simple, but
Mm-hmm. There's not many rules in
Okay.
Hrazak. That's why there's a healer usually.
Devil's in the details, they say.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, you kids go wild. I'll run defense for black.
Okay. And
Mhm.
the kids go ballistic and start playing and tackling each other and throwing things, being gremlins, as children want to do.
Game goes on. Eventually, a few kids run past and try to make it through Sez, and Sez has to run very fast, grab one, put him down, grab another, and as the other one reaches for the idol, Sez sort of like trips up a little, and as she falls, she's holding him up with one hand while keeping herself from face planting on the ground. And after she catches that one kid, she starts coughing viciously. Yeah. She's gonna keep coughing.
Paige is running over to her. Do you need some water? Are you okay?
Yeah, but I think I still got some volcanic ash in my system. Tell you what, we'll you know what? You guys can probably swap in now. You've seen enough. And listen, Samantha, can you fetch Thompson? He's like the only kid I can really trust to take my spot. And at this point, you guys, as they fetch Thompson, you feel the ground begin to quake and shake as each step lands, as this like 2 foot tall buff minotaur child walks up. Just nods approvingly as like Says gets up and goes, I'm gonna go sit with Lady Rei for a bit. You guys got it from here. Says gonna hobble over to Rei.
I apologize for asking you this, but is magic allowed?
Yeah, they can. Some of the kids here know magic, so they like to mess around a little bit with it, so it's fine. It's how original Hrazak is played. Just don't go casting like a firebolt or nothing. Keep the
Of course,
cantrips, illusions, mage hand, stuff like that.
No firebolt, but what about firewall?
You don't need me to answer that. Besides, I'm pretty sure one of the kids can cast Fireball, and you don't want to give them the okay on that. And I'm just gonna, and says is gonna hobble off to Lady Rei and just plap right next to her while
Yep.
you guys yeah, you guys can do a round of RP of this if you want.
Kai Shen's gonna look at Euphoria and go, let's see who can lead them to greatness better.
Oh, I see. Okay, all right. We can make a little contest out of this. All right, you, and you, just like pointing at these random kids. You're with me, all right? The rest of y'all go with Mr. Zhao. All right. I want all of y'all to form up. Who here has combat training?
They like look at each other and like you see like one of the little goblins holds up their hand and then after a few seconds puts it down.
Okay, all right. What is your expertise?
I can finger paint pretty well.
That's wonderful. I'm sure that'll be very useful in the coming fight. What about you? What can you do?
Child actively eating some dirt.
Excellent. Well,
We
I'm
have a
sure
druid on our hands.
I'll find some way to whip y'all into shape. For the meantime, the best defense works if you're never caught, right? So follow my lead and just make sure that none of Mr. Zhao's kids grabs a hold of you, all right? We're going to be elusive and sneaky and devious. Understood?
Yay! Sneaky!
Euphoria, you probably shouldn't put so much pressure on the children.
Nonsense.
One of them
They have
trips.
They have to be ambitious and have the desire to win.
Should I also form a team?
Sure, just pick some kids.
Okay. Does anyone want to join my team?
He calls out to any of the kids.
Houseman! So some kids form up around you.
Hello. You can call me Malrap. What are all of your names?
They say various names.
House.
What are their names, DM?
No.
Children right now.
I'll make a bunch of kid NPCs for obs after this. Fuck it, this is my RP
We all
activity.
know
I'll make
Jeremy.
shit for y'all.
It's good to meet you all. Now, I know this is going to be a tough battle, but remember, this is for fun. Let's go out and just have a fun time, alright? Maybe make another kid eat dirt. That one looks like they already have a heads up on it.
None of them should have to eat dirt.
He
You
already
hear
is.
Kai Shen yell,
Gestures
and
to
then
one
we
of the
will
kids
be
on Jubilee's team.
and then we will feast on their flesh when we have defeated them.
Oh my goodness. Paige, you did this?
Well, honestly, it was rough, but it wasn't like this. Well, actually, maybe it was. Maybe we were like this.
Remember, they had sticks.
I think that I'm going to just go ahead and sit on the side and learn for each distinct parenting technique. I've been very worried, but I will stand aside.
Savannah, yes, I think I will be on the sides of this as well. I can assist in healing if anything comes up. You see Kai Shen scooping all of his kids together to form a very loose phalanx.
All right, now kids, remember, first one to get caught is a rotten egg. Do y'all want to be rotten eggs?
Ew, stinky.
That's right. So don't you get caught.
And
By the way, Malrel's still going to cheat by giving magical buffs to all of his kids.
All right. Everybody is cheating respectively for their teams, I'm assuming. And the battle will begin. At one point, Kaishan's phalanx, he literally picks up a child and throws it at another child.
All of my children have sanctuary casted on them.
I'm definitely cast it like having echoes, so the kids are like going after the wrong Euphoria.
But yes, so as they are all engaging in brutal combat, let's go back to Saz. Saz.
I was like coughing, going to sit with Lady Rei.
You sound terrible.
I think I am. Says like looking at the mixture of volcanic ash and blood in her hand, just shaking. She takes a quick look around. I know they're all busy and engaged in child combat. Larissa, I'm assuming, is too busy sunbathing to pay attention to anything right now, yeah?
Yep.
Listen, Lady Rei, can you do one of those confessional things here, so that just you know and nobody else?
Rei like turns to you with her one existing eyebrow and kind of raises it as she extends out one of her mechanical hands to, kind of grab your chin and look you in the face. You're being serious right now. What has happened to you?
I think I'm dying, Lady Rei. I don't mean right now, but no amount of healing juice and magical goo is gonna change the fact that I take my body down on the regular for a fistful of coin. I guess it makes sense though, for someone like me to be breaking down like this.
You mean someone like you? You
I am a
have
good person.
served well. You have fought well.
I don't know about serving well. I'm just punching people for money. Dying for money. I don't exactly think that's a noble and worthwhile cause.
You are the reason why this is even happening. Why these children have a place to play. You've saved many lives. I may not agree with you, but I can at least understand that there is a noble purpose hidden behind all that muscle and idiocy.
It's not like I set out thinking that I'm gonna make a massive paycheck to pay for nice things like this. I just saw a community that could be better off, and I had the cash lying around. I'm not some grand hero or holy avenger. I'm just some alley cat in over her head, about to lose it all just to make an extra bit of coin and see her family do well.
Rei scowls with the half of her face that isn't peeled back and goes, after all of this time, you think so little of yourself, despite what you have achieved.
Well, there was certainly a time when I believed in myself. I believed in something. All I ever believed in was love. My mom and dad preached that nonstop. They believed in it, and they aren't here anymore because they had hope in it. And then I thought I found true love. I thought I found it twice, and look at me now. All I got is a really bad dye job and a scary look on my face. And love and family, well, she'll find a nicer love when I'm gone, I think.
Do you expect me to just nod along.
No, Lady Ray, I've come to appreciate your candid choice of words, but I don't think, I mean, the whole point of a confessional is that it's just between us. You can say what you want and everything, and I will respect your words, and I will appreciate every kindness you've shown me, but I think I'm afraid that she, like, whimpers. It starts to tear up a little bit.
Rei will kind of hesitantly at first, but put her mechanical arm on your shoulder as she like kind of pulls you closer to her.
And Cez will lean and start just weeping a little bit on her shoulder for like a little bit before separating before anyone else notices.
What do you have to be afraid of?
You don't need me to spell it out. It's a 3-letter word and I'm terrified of it. Terrified that when I die, I won't have any hope left, any faith in that 4-letter word love. I'm tired of taking a gamble, taking a chance that love exists. I just don't know what to believe in anymore.
Did I ever tell you how I received these injuries?
No, I don't think you have.
I served in the Templar for Thrain during the war. My father was a clan chief who chose to surrender rather than fight to the end against the armies arrayed against him. Because of that, he was cast out of his clan and taken in by Thrain and the Silver Flame. And that is where I was raised. And because of that, I never had any clan and was viewed reviled by everyone of my own culture and lineage. And so I found a new clan and a new way of life and service to the church. And I fought alongside the scout vanguard of the Templar. And my comrades in arms were my everything. And I loved them with every fiber of my being. And I would have given anything for them. And I did. But we were clearing a Karnathi trench when a Glyphwalker zombie had been remained hidden, and I knew that I had but a moment to react before the wards and runes on it detonated, and so I chose to give my everything for those I loved. And this is me now. While I was recovering, I was hopeless. I had lost everything. I couldn't be an archer anymore. I couldn't serve in the scouts. My abilities had dulled by the loss of my limbs, the damage to my eyes. And in my moment of pure desperation, I found a new purpose as the flame shone light for a way that I could be able to serve and help others that I love, even if not on the battlefield. Do you know why I'm telling you this, Cez?
It's a roundabout way of saying you love me.
The point is that it is about the love you experience for others and the things you're willing to do for them. And you will not always have the opportunity to have others do the same for you, but that does not change what is right, and that does not change that you must protect them. And that simply giving up is giving up on any hope that there will be a better world because of the love you show for others that matter to you. I happen to believe that you have more that you can do. You have touched many lives, you've saved many lives. Do not begin to fail me now.
You're way too strong for me, Lady Rei. Way too strong. I'll hold out hope. Just that little bit longer. Till it hurts again, I guess. Thank you.
Kind of moves her hand dismissively. It is nothing. We all experience our crisis of faith at some point. And I hope that you will find a light to guide your path as well.
I hope so too. I'm assuming at this point they just stare back at the now 3-way Harazak game.
Yep. It's at a certain point it is Kai Shen and Euphoria like wrestling as Malral is shielding the children from them.
Paige in the sidelines, like trying to like calm down, please calm down.
And finally, like all the kids just like leap on top of Euphoria and Kai Shen, and Malral flops on top of them, pinning them in place.
Do we win?
Can you get him off?
Looks at -1 strength stat. I don't think.
All right, Lady Rei, I think that's
We
my
win.
cue. So this
You
is going
guys, this
to
is just a game.
this is gonna awkwardly walk up and do the thing where she picks up Malral again and sets him aside. Okay, I think that's enough fun for one day.
Kai Shen kind of wipes his mouth and spits out some blood from where Euphoria, gave him a haymaker.
Oh, she'll reach out a hand to him and give him a firm handshake. Like that was good fighting.
You're more resilient than you look.
Well, not the first time I've been told that.
You're certainly a lot more skillful with your hands than I guess I truly appreciated. I guess my art trading has helped pay off.
Not the first time I heard that either.
I'd like to imagine all the kids are like pretend gagging at the two adults flirting in front of them. All right.
Well, looks over at my kids and also gives them little handshakes as well, like, well fought.
Kai Shen has his kids like stand up at attention and goes, "You fought bravely. Your sacrifice will always be remembered."
I'm just gonna look over at Cess, who's coming back, to be like, "This was not how it's supposed to go. I can imagine."
Well, Harazak is what Harazak is, I guess. Or some other stupid fairy tale ending.
I suppose if they
Anyways.
had fun, that's
You
also
gave us
fun.
capture the flag. We played football.
Basically the same thing. Anyways, you guys take the stuff back home. I'm gonna go with Lady Rei to make sure these kids go back home safely, alright? I'll see you back in a bit.
Of
There you
course.
go. I got you some water because I know you were coughing earlier.
Thanks. It takes a very small sip of it and just holds it and is like, I'll drink this on the way back, okay?
Okay, I'll see you back.
And don't be late for dinner, Lily's quite punctual.
Yeah, I'm starving after seeing you guys work such a sweat. Alright. Split. Come on, kids. Let's get you home before your parents start worrying.
Yay! As the swarm follows Cess.
Yeah. No, with that,
Yeah.
I think that seems good. Sorry. Maris, you wanted to say something? I'm so sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna linger and putz in the scene, but yeah, if we're wrapping up, I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys go your separate ways. Is there anything else, Cess? Before we move on to the next thing?
It's a nice walk through sunset Ironwall with Lady Ray and the kids. That's it.
Okay.
That's the only thought I have right now after that sad RP.
All right, so you walk away in Greywall. Eventually, you can circle back with everyone else, and I believe that there was something Euphoria wanted to say to Cess in the time after.
Yeah, she just wanted to have a conversation with Cess, time permitting.
We should have time. This could be like after dinner when says probably just be in the garden breathing, enjoying the
Mhm.
nice cool air.
Yeah, Euphoria will she'll step outside and um sort of seat herself in relative close proximity, but not getting like too close, and attempt to awkwardly make small talk first. Just it's it's a nice night out.
It
You
sure is.
you usually do your gardening at night?
I'm just enjoying the breeze. Most of the garden's done already, and there's one area I'm still waiting on some stuff from Sean for, but just enjoying the night breeze.
It looks nice out here.
Yeah.
What?
Hey, listen, this isn't. I'm not trying to sound passive aggressive here, but is something up? You've been like extra aware of me for a while now, and listen, I'm just saying, if there's something wrong, you can tell me. If this is about me not telling you and the other, like, Augustus and Oriana, that my parents were dead, like, I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No,
Like,
no, Sass. It's nothing like that. I'm sorry to have made you worry or feel self-conscious or anything like that. I was just hoping to get to know you a little better, that's all. And
oh,
I wanted to apologize because I realized I came off as a little presumptuous and a little forward in, when I invited you to, spar with me and Malrel, and I meant well, but I understand that puts you in a bit of an awkward position. So I do apologize.
that's fine. You got nothing to apologize for. You just came. You didn't know the entire situation of how we all act and how we all feel, and you were just trying to help. That matters, and it was nice. Okay.
Very well. But I guess I just wanted to know a little bit more about the
Well,
gal that was so important to Juby.
you feel this way that like everyone, because we all kind of were important to Juby.
Juby is an affectionate being. I think she's was able to grow attached to a lot of people. But I think that some people, perhaps, she felt a closer attachment to.
Was this included in that dossier you read about us? It was a little. I know we signed a lot of paperwork doing our job, so that feels like a little bit of an invasion of privacy.
No, well, no. I found this out from Kashan. I found signs as to how she felt.
Good, because I didn't want to deal with the awkward experience of realizing that she told her mom that I kissed her, because that would be awkward. That would be
Oh, well,
be-
she did not say that, but now I know.
okay. I am presuming. Sorry, it's, I want
It's
to
all
be
right.
fun.
It's
I
all
wanna
right,
think-
Sis.
when she left and you learned about it, how did you feel at first? What was your first thought? Were you angry that she decided to leave without telling you? Were you scared, upset?
I was confused more than anything, I think. That was my initial reaction. My Juby wouldn't just leave everything she cared about, not my Juby. But then I did feel anger. I was very angry, but I wasn't angry at her. Never her. I felt angry at whatever it was that made her feel like she had to leave. And I was angry at myself for having not realized sooner that something was wrong.
I mean, fame manipulation aside, I mean, it was her choice, yeah? I mean, whatever reasoning Oberon gave, she still thought of us, thought of you and her family. She still made that decision. I'm not a selfless person, Euphoria. When it comes to people I like, I want them. I need them to stay close, and when I see them go away, it hurts in a way I can't describe. And having Jubilee make me go through that pain again, just going, I it hurts to have to tell you that I can't. If you told me she was coming back the next day, if you somehow found a way to bring her back, I don't know if I could look at that with a smile. And if part of you felt the same way, angry, it would be okay to admit to it. I'm not saying it's bad or wrong or right. It just,
Says,
yeah.
it's okay to be angry. I know that no matter what reasoning the other person gives, it doesn't feel good to get left behind.
I'd miss her. So starts weeping again a little bit.
If she's okay with it, Euphoria will pull her in for a hug.
Yeah. She'll accept it. Start crying into her shoulder.
Yeah. I miss her too. But I'm gonna get her back. And there's no expectations there. Whatever happens, happens. But I think it's important that you know that you meant a lot to her. And
We all meant a lot to her, but she still chose to be something else. And I don't know if I can ever forgive her for that.
that's okay. That's all right. But I'm one stubborn mother. And I'm not going to quit on my girl, so I'm going to do what it takes.
Just promise me something.
That depends.
I'm not the Feywild. I can't hold you to anything, but just if you're going to get Juby back, and I know Ilya's helping you, just make sure we don't have anyone else throw themselves away for it. There's no point in bringing her back if you can't be with her.
Well, I'm not exactly sure what it's going to take to bring her back. There's still a lot that I have to learn. So, until I learn what it takes to bring her back, I can't make any guarantees.
You're cold, lady. You're hella cold.
I've heard that a
Oh,
lot too.
how did Augustus ever get to hold hands with you? What the fuck?
Oh, well, that's an interesting story, I suppose. But I guess maybe he realized I was too cold.
At least there's someone here who likes the cold a lot. So.
Hmm.
Oh! Just a
That's
Yep.
lot. Anyways, I'm gonna sit out here a bit longer to just breathe. You can head back in whenever you want. Okay?
Yeah. Do you mind if I stay out here just a little bit? It's a nice
what
nice quiet space you made for yourself.
That's what I brought the bench for, so come on. So we just sit and stare at the stars and relax.
And after several minutes of just enjoying the quiet for a little bit, Euphoria will stand up, give Cess's hair a little tousle, and head back inside.
Yeah, eventually Says goes back. I mean, everyone's got to sleep, but yeah, I'm
Yeah.
good now, Obs. Thank you.
Okay. With that, because of the time, I think we're gonna hold off on page time shenanigans for next time. No pun intended. But yeah, so I think we will wrap things up here. We had a lot of things happen tonight. Um, we we had drama, heartbreak. We had incredibly unsettling archfey, and now our party continuing to struggle with maybe there are lasting scars on our heroes that can't be healed in battle, and maybe the fatal weaknesses in the coming days. If only there was an archfey who could have told them more about that. But that's aside from the point. Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. I hope you had fun. I hope all my wonderful players had fun, even though you're all very sad all the time.
The time.
Also, thank you to everybody who came by to watch. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It feels good to be back here after a brief hiatus of this game. So we hope to continue it soon in the coming days. Next time we'll pick up with part 2 of their 8th interlude before they begin their 8th quest. So be sure to come on by again. This Wednesday, I'm going to be doing Wildermyth here with my characters in it are all the people here called the Disaster Buys. And they live up to their name. So that's what's going to be Wednesday. If you haven't done so already, please give these wonderful players a follow. They're all amazing streamers in their own right. Also, please give me a follow, give me a sub on YouTube, give me a follow on Twitter, and you can join my Discord, the Eternal Citadel, and be a part of my incredible community. With that, we're gonna get us a little raider doodle going on right here. So let's go. We're gonna raid somebody new that I've never done before, but we're gonna go find us some other D&Ders, and I see that there is. Yes, Lily is busy being dead, and Litro is busy being retired in Wildermyth. This game has 2 cows in it, so we're gonna raid them.
Yo.
Go.
The streamer is the Disaster Tour, and he is running a game called Bits, Crits, and Halfwits, episode 67.
Nice.
So
Let's go, baby.
Please do a follow. Sorry. Please copy down the followers message, which is the call to hugs, or the sub message, which is the Knights one, as we go wish them a wonderful game of apparently halfwits. 2 cows? Yeah, they're 2 cows, what appears to be a kobold, and elfish-looking person and a human-looking person. So let's go raid them. Have a great night, everybody. Bye.
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 Night-night.
Night-night.